Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 12th, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. There will be a loud sound accompanying this meditation. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So while the singing bowl was singing, I was listening to the vibration and looking into the scrying bowl, and I kept on seeing chains breaking, and a robin flying, a robin, hopping on trees and flying and just being able to be free, being able to be itself. And that was so empowering. It's such an empowering vision that came forward. So let's talk about this time, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm so excited. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am so excited for this time. Jupiter and Neptune converge in Pisces for the first time since 1856. I mean, this is big. And this won't happen again till 2188. So this is a time where we have strong Pisces energy coming forward, okay? And we have Neptune, we have Jupiter, and we'll even have Mars and Venus coming into play, which is going to be a big thing because we are ruled by Mars. So let's talk about Pisces for just a moment. Here we have intimacy, intuitive, and compassion coming forward when we have Pisces coming into play. Now, when we have Jupiter, which is growth and expand, and Neptune, dreams and transcend, coming into Pisces, this is a time where we saw the birth, this was the year 1856, where we saw the birth of Sigmund Freud, who gave form and definition, ruled by Jupiter, right, to the unconscious, ruled by Neptune. This is a time where we're going to start to see things more clearly, okay? Jupiter and Neptune orbit the sun in a much slower pace than other planets do. So whereas Mars and Venus can be very personalized in a person's chart, in a person's natal chart, Jupiter and Neptune are going to be much more collective. It goes for a generation, right? Or more than one generation. So when we have Neptune coming forward, Neptune is the planet of the imagination. So Neptune comes right forward here. It's a place of the imagination. It also rules Pisces. So when Neptune is in Pisces, our imagination, our intuition, our understanding, it's heightened. And we're going to find that we're motivated spiritually, emotionally to change our world. In 1856, we had the Treaty of Paris signed to end the Crimean War. Now, this was a conflict with Russia. And so here, that also has historical relevance if we look at things now. So to be able to move forward with an awakening of consciousness, awakening of higher understanding with emotional awareness for the wider world, to be able to step into a calm, powerful place, to step into a place of healing and dreams and what we deeply desire, that's going to be very important. We then have Jupiter coming into play. And Jupiter symbolizes our personal gifts and what we need to share with the world. Jupiter is also astoundingly lucky. It shows us that we are going to grow massively, creatively during this time. Now, Jupiter, the only downfall to Jupiter, just like the downfall to Neptune, is that we can live too much in our dreams. The downfall to Jupiter is that we can say yes to too many things. We have a hard time saying no because it's lucky, it's powerful. Jupiter is also, the name for Zeus in Roman times. So there's just the sense of power and And I want to say, ego keeps on coming up, which makes sense if you think of Zeus or you think of Jupiter, in Greek Roman mythology. So we're going to see this time and time again here, where if we step away from our ego, and if we step away from just completely living in our dreams, we're going to find that if we put a practical spin on what we desire, we can really move ourselves forward during this time. And then we have on the 5th, we had Venus going into Pisces, which really brings love forward. It really brings us this sensitive, compassionate, romantic energy coming forward. It says, give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. And that's going to be very important to us during this time, not just simply that we're creating and connecting, but that we're creating and connecting with something bigger. And then on the 14th of April, we have Mars entering into Pisces. Why is that important? Well, it's especially important for us, Aries, because we're ruled by Mars. We become even more powerful when this combination comes together. And we will be prone to kind of step back, and instead of saying, oh, I have to move in this direction, it's going to be, let me see where the world can take me. Here, it's moving forward and defending ourselves. Yes, it's standing our ground, knowing what it is that we want. But it's also saying there's more to this life than what I realized. We have the two fish swimming together here, and that is the sign of Pisces. One is our dreams, the sign of Neptune. The other, well, that is our determination and our focus, our waking world, the sign of Jupiter, coming forward during this time. So we're going to be looking at things in a very different light, in a very different way, and it makes us focus. This is a time to lean into our intuition, to embrace our daydreams, and to move forward with this feeling of freedom. That's why the chains were broken and the bird flew through. That is what we need to embrace. And I love that the robin, has the red belly. And so here, for us, the red king coming forward, the Aries, that fire, that power coming forward, we need to fly and we need to embrace our voice more and more. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. We have two. So we have the Four of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Wands. The Four of Pentacles is a vampiric energy coming in. It is a sense of wasting money. It is an energy of, I'm not moving forward the way that I want to. There is something around here where the past is going to hold us back because we were told that we couldn't. Now, it's very interesting with the Ace of Wands. There's something that we're astoundingly passionate about. We want it to shine forward. It's a gift that's being given, but because we're being told to be mindful of it, it's a gift that's being given, but not in the way that we want it. There is a sense here of it being too bright. Now, we could be working with lasers or even with like hair removal stuff. It's like wear sunglasses, make sure you have on your SPF. There is also this sense here of what is being brought forward needs to be looked at more deeply because we're being mindful of things and we have this vampiric energy. It's kind of like you can be trapped. You can think that you're going into a better situation and it winds up being a worse one because they're not going to be as open with you. They're not going to be as honest with you as you would want. So being aware of that is going to be very important during this time. We then have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have grounding. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. There's a real need for us to be grounded in our energy, grounded in ourselves, to say, I know who I am, I know what I want. Why? Because there's such power around us. There is such an intensity. There's luck, there's dreams, there's awakening, there's passion, there's, that fire that moves us forward. And we're going to love it. But if we're not fully aware of who we are, of where we need to be, we're going to feel like it's all just jumbled. So grounding ourselves, rooting ourselves is going to be very important for us. Even the simple practice of going outside and walking either in barefoot shoes or barefooted and connecting with the earth, that's going to be so powerful. That's going to be so beautiful. It moves us then to our goddess oracle energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. So here we have the Maya. And it says, allow past mistakes to help you see through all illusions so you can understand and act upon what you know is real and what is false. And that's going to be very important during this time, to see and to understand and to take our own counsel and learn from everything that we've been through. So let's dive into the tarot. And we begin, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. With the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Magician, the Nine of Cups. I'm going to lay everything out so we can pull everything together. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Knight of Swords, Strength card, the Nine of Cups, the Three of Swords. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Ooh, goodness. Okay, so that one, of course, had to skid right across the floor. So we have the Eight of Swords. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Hangman. Very interesting. And let me go get that one that flew away. You guys get to hear my squeaky floor. All right. And this is the Four of Swords. I love it that the rest, the relaxation, the kind of sense of, okay, I get to breathe out, went away from us during this time, where it's almost a sense of, can I rest? We have this feeling of, I'm not doing my job if I give myself time to take care of me. And that's going to be something that we have to be very aware of, because that's toxic. It really is. It's not good for us. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups. I love that. Heartbreak and a healing coming forward. It's such a push and pull that we get during this time. So again, this is an energy that will not be seen again till 2188. We haven't seen this energy since 1856. And what's coming forward is this profound sense of the subconscious and the conscious coming together. The energy of Neptune, the energy of our dreams and our deepest desires, and the energy of Jupiter, the energy of getting things done, the focus, the insight, the determination. And so this is a time for us where we start off with connecting with the earthly plane. But also, I'm just going to take all of these at once, because Spirit is saying, bring it all forward. You know, we have this connection with this earthly plane. We have what we're nurturing, what we desire on this earthly plane. But our thoughts and our mind have been muddled with things, with everything that has come against us, everything that we've had to go through. So there is a sense of, I want this prosperity, I want this bounty, but I'm almost denying it of myself. And hear me out, because I know you're going to sit there and say, Dane, I'm not denying this of me, but it has been hard. It has been overwhelming. And don't shoot the messenger here. But what Spirit is saying is that we need to rest, and yet we're pushing off the rest. It's like, okay, I can sleep when I'm dead type of thing. And Spirit's saying, no, that's wrong. I need to take care of me now because I need to rise. And I'm rising to a place of power and authority within my life and for myself. And as this happens, and as I rise into what I want, what happens is that I look at my passion, I look at what I desire, but I keep on looking over my shoulder. I keep on looking at the past and saying the past defines everything that I've been through. And though that has merit to it, there's also a sense here of, if I keep riding the horse, looking behind me, I'm going to fall off the horse. So being aware of that is going to be very important, because it brings us to the statement from the Magician, you have magic. You have magic within you. You have passion within you. You have beauty within you. Bring it forward. And that's kind of the energy that Jupiter gives off. Jupiter gives off the energy of luck, of magic, of just that Midas touch type of deal. And so it's extraordinary. And we're embracing here the extraordinary as we move forward. there is also a sense of seeing different dynamics, different insights, different ideas. And it moves us to the Nine of Cups. There's something that we wish for. There's something that we've been longing for, desiring, looking at. And now it is a time where we need to see our blessings within ourselves. Because it's almost like, oh, but I wish I could be this person. Or I wish I could be like this. And what's happening with the coming together with the conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, we're going to see that, well, this is me. And I could want to be 6 feet tall, but I'm only 5'3". So I can be constantly disappointed with the gifts that were given to me. Or I can sit there and say, these are my gifts. This is who I am. This is how I define myself. This is empowering. Or I could just be devastated. It depends on how we utilize these gifts, how we're going to move forward. There's somebody here, okay, a very nurturing, I get Earth Mother, and I'm saying this with quotes because it doesn't have to be a mother figure at all, but they nurture, they support, they guide, they say, oh, well, look at this, or look at that, kind of type of energy coming forward. And I don't know if we're, reading a book and this energy comes forward, or we're watching, something on YouTube and or on whatever media, and this person comes forward where they just give advice, and the advice is valid. So here, they're helping to nurture us, and we're going to use that energy to move us forward. We don't have to know that person, we don't have to know that person, or that person doesn't have to know us. But there's something here where valuable information that gets turned into money comes forward. We have to release the past. We're looking at, with the messenger of air, we're connecting with the sense of the voice. We're going to find, and that's why the red part of the robin stood out so much. We're going to find that we have a hard time expressing what we deeply desire, because there's almost a sense of, I wonder where this leads me. Like, it's almost like we're doing an experiment. Like, I wonder where this leads me. I wonder how this can move forward. And what we're going to find here, Aries, is that when we speak, we want it to have power and meaning. So we don't want to waste our words. People might say we're not talking enough during this time. Or, I want an answer from you. I want an answer from you. We need to think about it. We need to ground ourselves. We need to understand more to be able to give that answer. Okay, if we're rushed, that's not going to work out well for us. So just be mindful of this here. The answer is coming. There's tremendous strength in what we have to say, but we also have to give ourselves time to be able to say it, to be able to understand it, because the energy here right now is, I need to step into that power. I need to gain that understanding. I need to look at things this way and not kind of be rushed to see things or be pressured to see things the way other people want it. We're stronger than we think we are. Strong Leo energy is coming forward. Leo is ruled by the sun. We can feel more comfortable during the day. At night, when our dreams and Neptune, and Pisces come forward, Pisces in the tarot is represented by the moon. It makes us look within ourselves just a little bit too much. We can feel uncomfortable with that. Be aware of this, because when we're uncomfortable with something, Spirit is saying here, okay, why am I uncomfortable with this? Open up this door. See this. Understand this. Because we're going to find that we're a heck of a lot stronger than we thought we were as we're entering into everything. It brings us then to, again, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is repeated. There's a wish coming forward. There's something that we desire that's coming here. But there's almost a sense of, I'm not going to see it, or I don't want to look at it because it's not the way that I wanted it. It's kind of like meeting your prince or princess charming and them not being the exact way you thought they would look, so we let them pass us by. Here, what Spirit is saying is that this is a time where our dreams and our desires and everything is awakening. And what we find leading us forward, if we flow with the creativity, if we let our dreams come in, if we listen to our intuition, is going to be quite astounding. But are we going to give ourselves permission to take the gift that comes? We then have the Three of Swords. And it's interesting that we have the Three of Swords twice. There's some sort of heartbreak that comes up. It needs to be addressed. We've been defining ourselves by this heartbreak for a really long time. Heartbreak, pain, disappointment. This is a time where we need to name it in order to claim ourselves moving forward, in order to claim what it is that we want, what it is that we desire, the bigger picture of where we're moving. But there is something here, we've been hurt 3 times. It's kind of like we gave somebody 3 chances, or we've, thought, okay, I settled here, that'll be fine, and we have to move again, or it has to change again, and it's overwhelming. We're getting too much in our own head. And that does happen when when Neptune comes into play. Jupiter is like, I can handle this. Neptune can overthink, overanalyze. We have to be mindful of this. Pisces also can overthink and overanalyze. We can have those fish swimming in different directions and seemingly pulling us apart because we have our dream desires and we have our waking desires, and we can think, oh my gosh, they're never going to come together. If we believe it will not happen, it will not happen, because we will not even be looking for opportunities and blessings and ways forward. We have the repeat of the number 8 here a lot. So we have 8 here with the Strength card. We have the 8 of Swords. We have here the 8 of Cups. There is something that's coming forward where we're going to take things way too seriously, put way too much stress on ourselves. Again, overthinking, overanalyzing. We wind up walking away. We're going to think, for a lot of us Aries, it's coming through as, I'm just hearing failure, failure. And Spirit's saying, you're not a failure because you knew it wasn't right. You'd be a failure if you stayed someplace that was tearing up your soul. So here, the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords comes in, and it's triumph, because you're walking down a different path. And it doesn't mean that you have to leave any place. You know, we could just say, this is what I need from my job, or this is what I need from my partner. And we lay down boundaries, or we say what we haven't been saying. And it might feel like it's coming out of the blue to that person. And we're not trying to be hurtful or mean or anything like that. But we're saying, this is what I need. You know, this is who I am. This is how I need to move forward. And so the 8 of Cups is changing. It's almost like I get to go on this adventure. I get to open up this door. It's much more solitary than we had thought it would be. There's a sense of, I thought there would be more people around me. There isn't going to be. Because these steps, Spirit is saying, these steps have to be taken first by you. By you is what I keep on hearing. And as we start moving forward, it's like, it starts to grow, because I just see a crescent moon. It starts to grow, It brings us then to the Hangman. We start to see everything so differently than we have seen it before. It turns everything on its head. This is a time when the conscious, the subconscious, the building of our dreams and our desires, and you know, the understanding of our heart and our creativity, it comes together. And it's just turned everything on its head. And we think, well, how can I do this now? And the question is, how can I not walk forward with this knowledge, with this insight, with these ideas? Because we're going to need to rest. We just are. We're going to need to rest. We're going to need to center ourselves. We're going to need to gain an understanding. And then once we let this come in, it's like, oh, that's what my dreams were telling me. Oh, that's what was being said. That's what I needed to see. All of a sudden it starts coming together. But if we don't let ourselves rest and we don't honor our story, we don't honor everything that we've been through, again, I just see it slipping through our fingers. It moves us to the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is recognizing how a heartbreak, a pain, and disappointment has defined us. Are we always defining ourselves by a disability? Are we always defining ourselves by a hurtful thing that people say about us? How are we connecting with and understanding ourselves? That's going to be very important. The 3 of Swords comes in. And this is the energy of, this is how my heart was broken. And I'm afraid to heal this heartbreak because I'm afraid it'll come in again. You know, it's kind of like, I'm just seeing, okay, so if you've moved a lot, there's almost a fear of, I'm afraid to unpack. I'm afraid to settle down because I'm just going to have to leave again. So I'm already going to detach myself from things. I'm just getting this energy of, I'm detaching myself from situations because I don't want to be hurt like this again. And this could be with moving, this could be with romantic relationships or even friendships. It's like, I don't know when the next shoe is going to drop, so I'm not going to become connected or invested. And what Spirit is saying here is that this is a time, if we name our pain, if we look at our hurt and our disappointment, this is a time of tremendous healing. This is a time where we can really start setting ourselves free. And it's like, oh, that's what I needed. That's what I wanted. That's what I desired. But it's also a time of emotional vulnerability. Pisces makes us emotionally vulnerable. Neptune, Jupiter, you know, even Venus and Mars, when they come into this configuration, they make us vulnerable because we're looking at what we deeply desire. We're looking at where we deeply desire being. And it can be overwhelming, but it is extraordinary also. There's a sense of I'm releasing. I'm releasing the hurt and the pain and disappointment. I'm releasing a lot of things that I keep on shoving down. I keep on holding my tongue. I keep on. It doesn't mean that we blow up on somebody. No, it means that we acknowledge within us this hurt, this pain. We can write it out in a journal. We can, kind of scream into a pillow, or I just see screaming. Like, I don't know if you have a closet you go into and you just scream, or someplace you go and you just release it. And then looking at things and realizing there's more here than just this pain. And that's going to be part of what this time brings us. Because what's interesting about 1856, it's a time where, a war ended. But also 1856 was a time where there was tension, when there was, where there's a sense of, if I look too deep into my feelings of this, will it rip me apart? And that's what we have to ask ourselves. What heartbreak and pain and disappointment is ripping us apart from our peace, from what we desire, from what we need? And that's not only on an individual level, that's worldwide. It moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the 10 of Pentacles. There's almost a sense here, and as soon as I turned it over, Spirit said you can't pull everyone up. And that can be a very specific message for a very specific person, where you're trying to pull everybody up with you. And some people you just can't. They have to make their own choices. The 10 of Pentacles can also be, the sense of when we're being mindful of it. Somebody can be a little cliquey, a little clanny. It's their family, it's their way type of thing. So be mindful of that energy coming forward. But also the corruption of an inheritance, or, something in that effect, where I thought I was going to get this because it gets passed down, and now it doesn't get passed to me. So just be aware of this. Just be aware. We can also find that we're taking on more burdens within our own families, and that could be adding stress onto things. It doesn't mean that, it's not a good thing, but it doesn't always help. And and it can make things complicated. So being aware of that is important. And then moves us to our chakra energy, which is our throat chakra and our life purpose. And this is a time where our life purpose shines more, because our dreams and our determination, our joy, our luck is more in alignment during this time astrologically. So we're going to see ourselves rising to this place of insight and ideas of, oh, this is my purpose. We're going to be drawn to certain things where Spirit is tapping us on the shoulder or hitting us upside the head saying, hey, listen to this. Look at this. I know your, elementary school art teacher might have told you were terrible at art, but maybe you pick up a pencil. Maybe you start drawing. Maybe you, start public speaking or talking to people. Even though somebody said to you, your 8th grade teacher said, oh, you have no skill for public speaking. No, now's the time to look at these things that hurt us, that wounded us, and the wounds stayed for way longer than they needed to. Way longer than they defined us. For a lot more time than we thought, oh, no, I'm over that. That didn't even bother me. And yet it stuck in. That's what Spirit is saying here. There's things during this time that have just, it's stuck. It's kind of like when you throw spaghetti against the wall, though I don't know why you would do that. And some of the spaghetti sticks and some of it falls to the floor. That's like with people's negative comments. Some of it sticks and we don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So just be aware of that, because there's something here where it was almost like it was part of your destiny. It was part of what you inherited. Oh, it was an innate ability that you inherited. There's something here. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be that you have an eye for colors, like matching things and stuff like that. But because of negative comments, that innate ability was pushed down and pushed down. It moves us to our subconscious. Yeah, and I love that. Visionary. Oracle. And it says, developing habits and actions that help us turn our visions into reality will guide you and on your path to ultimate success and happiness. And that's exactly it. This is a time where we're starting to say, I can do that. I can do that. I can see that. I can move forward that way. It moves us to our subconscious tarot energy, which begins with the Knight of Swords. This is being the hero of the story, cutting through doubts and fears and negativity. Now there is the warning here that we can be too impulsive. We can, want to go too quickly, charge too fast forward. Spirit is saying, slow down, step into yourself, know what it is that you want. But this is a time to go after it. And it's not only, just the 12th, but we have this energy around us for almost all of April. So embrace it. We have this energy around us for quite a long time. Embrace it. Utilize it. It brings us then to our subconscious. Tarot energy continued. The Queen of Water. There's something that we love that's coming forward. We're nurturing it. We're connecting with it. We're loving it. We're developing it. And it's developing us. So that's going to be very powerful. It brings us then to the Page of Cups. You have now the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups. You have the Messenger of Cups, the Knight of Cups. There's strong, strong, strong water energy around us. And that's, oh my gosh, that's Pisces, right? Pisces. And it could also be Scorpio or Cancer, but we're in the time of Pisces. This teaches us a lot. We're not even going to be looking for the lessons and they're going to come. That could be very annoying, but we definitely take this gift. We definitely do, though we don't feel it. We're taking the gift of the Ace of Cups. We're taking a gift of the healing. We're going to be seeing things in a new way, especially emotionally. And it brings us then to the Nine of Pentacles. Prosperity and success, bounty and abundance. Stepping into this moment and saying, this is where I stand. This is what I work for. This is what I love and what I've developed. Nothing's going to be taken from me because I'm looking at the bigger picture. But right now, I'm standing in the moment. And I'm seeing my worth and I'm seeing what I desire. And it's being able to be moved forward towards where I need to be. All right. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and intensity and rarity of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries, and may you have a blessed time.